Welcome. It's Wednesday. I'm Wayne. Welcome to Wednesdays with Wayne, brought to you by the Real Estate Business School, where you get your license and learn to use it. This is the learn to use it part. Well, what does that mean? What that means is I've been on hundreds of listing presentations. No one's ever asked me the difference between accretion and erosion. I've done over 800 real estate transactions. No one's ever asked me how many square feet are in an acre. So in all the listing presentations I've been on, the sellers typically have three different questions. One is, can you market my home? Can you expose it to the market? Can you sell it for top dollar? And will you negotiate best price and terms for me? So what is the market saying? When they ask those questions, what's the message? I don't care about your exam scores. The message, I expect you to have a business education, marketing, sales, negotiations. Those are business skills. Real estate is a business. It is not a career. It's a business. And if you don't treat it like a business and run it like a business, you're going to be out of business. And facts will back me up on this because the attrition rate is north of 80%. That's right. 8 out of 10 who get in get out every year. And the reason why is because they don't have a business education. So there are three types of education we need in order to be successful, according to me. This is just my opinion. My observation from decades of coaching, training, and watching successful people is number one, we need a technical education. This is all the Real Estate Commission requires you to have. It's a memorization of facts, figures, statistics, a new language, some math formulas, contracts. Is a technical education. We need a technical education. I'm not saying it's not important because it is. It's the foundation that we have. Most of the lawsuits and complaints to the Real Estate Commission come from contract disputes. Most of the problems I have with other realtors is come from contract disputes because they don't know how to read the forms. They don't understand a binding contract and the timelines and how it works. So all I'm saying to you is technical education is extremely important. But I owe my bank millions of dollars. They never asked me for my report card. I've been on hundreds of listing presentations. No one has actually asked me what my grade was. Nobody cares. So you need a business education, marketing, sales. And this is why we created the Real Estate Business Blueprint. It shows the 6 components of a business and the definition and goal of each. And we are doing our best. Our courses are designed to do our best to take our customers from this mental transition from being an employee, which is what we're taught to be. The public education system is a business. The product is employees. All the curriculum is designed to teach people how to specialize. The problem is specialization leads to extinction. If you don't believe me, go ask the local dinosaur how he's doing today. There are people being specialists being wiped out right now. Right now. They have been for decades. But this is what the school system teaches. What are you going to be when you grow up? I don't know. I'm 10. What are my options? And typically, we default to firemen or policemen because they're jobs and professions that we respect. We respect and admire people who put their lives on the line in service of other people. I mean, it's an admirable trait. It's an incredibly gifted life that these characters live to make sure that we're safe and free from fire and harm and other criminals. So, in the lack of any other options, that's typically what we say. I'll be a policeman. I'll be a fireman. Okay, good. Then you get older, you go, wait, I could be something else. So this is when the control of the mind begins, and the parents are battling for it, and the school system's battling for it. Everybody wants you to listen to them and do what they and think like they think, and do what they do, and say what they say. And so it starts at school. Be good, do as you're told, make good grades, get a good job, work hard, save your money, invest for the long term, blah, 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 blah. It's a recipe for financial disaster. If you save your money, you lose it. You're losing 8% a year on your savings because that's the current inflation rate, right? Right. So this is what the whole thing is designed to do, is keep people ignorant. That's how how the people running the country obtain and maintain power. If you want to control people, divide them. If you want to keep them conquered, keep them divided. The way you keep people divided is you don't let them talk to each other. You shut down speech, which is what's happening right now. So you need a business education. It's real estate is a business. If you want to thrive in business, you've got to have a business education, fundamentals, marketing, sales, negotiations. And then the real estate business blueprint shows the six components: marketing, sales, production, customer service, bookkeeping, and accounting. So that's it. And this is all what we teach in our SAE Salesman Apprentice Education courses, the first of your 2-year renewals. So then we have agents who figured out that the more they know, the more they make. The thing is, I didn't value education much because it's boring and never made me much money. Most people feel the same way. You got to drag them kicking and screaming to a class because they never had a class that was exciting and engaging, and it never made them much money. So once you have a class that's engaging and makes people money, next thing you know, they're showing up. The rooms are full, which ours are. So you need 3 types of education: technical, business, and financial. And the wealth, because if you don't have a financial education, you're not going to get ahead financially. You've got to know. You, you've got to know how to read a financial statement. It's the adult report card. So if you don't know what an income statement is, a profit loss or an income statement, and how to read it, what it does, you're in trouble. If you don't know what a balance sheet is and how they work together, then you're in trouble. If you don't have a cash flow statement, you're in trouble. So what do we know? We know that we have these things in school called books, full of words, tell a great story. If you look at a financial statement, it's full of numbers. It also tells a great story, but very few people know how to read one because our education system doesn't teach business or finance. So when we're young, we're told what to learn, and we're told when we learned it. Congratulations, you made an A. You memorized everything I told you. I now declare you smart, A+. You're the winner, winner, chicken dinner. And the little character thinks that they're smart now because teacher said so. Teacher said so. Nah, 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 nah. Haven't learned a thing. So talking isn't teaching, listening isn't learning, and memorization of the right answers is no indication of a person's intelligence or ability. The world is full of educated derelicts. So a financial statement simply tells you, it's the adult version of a report card. It tells you the mastery of the subject of finance. We live in a capitalist society. If you don't understand capital, you're in trouble. So looking back from today, this is end of December 2022, looking back on the year, did you achieve your goals? Did you set them? Did you achieve them? How are you doing? Are you doing better? Are you getting fatter or thinner? Are you getting dumber or smarter? Are you getting faster or slower? Are you catching up or slowing down? Are people passing you or are you passing people? How are you doing out there? Because you're getting better. It's either grow or die. It's grow or die. It's a bifurcation model. So you go along, go along, go along. You keep improving, improving, improving. There comes a point where you peak. And in order to thrive, you got to make this leap to this next level. You got to jump right here. You've got to do something different. This is where it bifurcates. So right here is the grow, die, jump off. So you're growing and dying. You're improving or not? Are you evolving or devolving? So look back on your year right now. What did you do that worked and duplicate it next year? What did you do that doesn't work? Because you learn from both. You know, some people in our lives are what I call reverse role models. They will teach you what not to do. I've seen him on stage every now and then. So the speaker says something and the crowd goes, whoa, like a mental note. Don't say that. Whatever you do, don't say that word. Did you see that reaction? They didn't like that. So it's grow, die. That's it. And then the next thing is one of the hardest things that humans struggle with. The world is designed to change. People are designed to change. What do humans resist most? Change. And so the saying we have here is this: what has to happen? For things to change, first I must change. So what about you needs to change? What can you do? What could or should you do? What things you need to stop doing? What things you need to start doing going into next year? Because most people think that next year is simply an extension of the present. The future is not an extension of the present. It's totally different. Then windows of opportunities are going to open and windows of opportunity will close. And it's not the big that eat the small, it's the fast that eat the slow. And so timing is everything. Speed is important, more important than ever. Is how fast can you make a decision? So if you look in the past, to me, the biggest learning I had was when, well, two things. One was when I learned about taking responsibility for everything that happened in my life. When I finally got that word at a cellular level, my life changed. You know, I went broke in the 80s and I was blaming the Arabs for importing and the Americans for importing cheap oil. And it's their fault. And then I blamed my banker because they wouldn't renew my note. And then I blamed my ex-wife because the divorce went south, the marriage went south. So there were plenty of people to blame. And so anyway, I did this workshop because I decided that after I went broke and got divorced, that I would go, that my problems originated with me and I needed to go fix them. And one of the first things I learned was to take responsibility for everything that happens in your world, which I did. And it's the first thing that happened. So then I began this process by cleaning everything up, working on myself mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and financially. Not only was I in financial hold, that was important. I mean, money's important to me because most of my problems are financial. Most problems I see are financial. Homelessness is a financial problem. One of the biggest problems we have in Austin right now is homeless people. That's a financial problem. And so all I know is my problems typically are like everybody else's problems. Most people I meet when talk about our problems, they're pretty much the same. And I have no problems that more money can't solve. So I just keep making more money. It solves most of the problems. Some can't be solved with money, but money gives me time to solve them and it pays for the solution. So to me, money's not everything, but it's a close second. And all it tells you is how valuable you are to other people. If you're not valuable to other people, it shows up in your income statement. If your phone isn't ringing, it's because the marketplace doesn't think you're very valuable. If no one's hiring you, it's because the marketplace doesn't see you as valuable. So to me, it's all about adding value. Money becomes the byproduct. It's simply a measurement of how well I'm servicing other people, how well I'm strengthening other people, how well I consider myself a conduit of information. I study a lot, you can tell behind me, and I've got a stack of books over here I'm going to get through over the holidays. I love reading. I read a lot. I wake up reading, I go to bed reading, I read throughout the day. I'm taking on information because I believe that we're information gatherers and problem solvers. And the more information I have, the more money I make, the more problems I solve. And this is what most real estate agents figure out their second, third year in this about halfway through about the first halfway through the second year, they realize that there's a direct correlation between how much they know and how much they make. And so rather than discounting education and seeing it as a waste of time, they start looking for education that makes them rich, that makes them better, makes them smarter, gives them tools. So, like I said in the start, a license is just a tool. If you don't know how to use it, it just sits in the garage and does nothing, or sits in your pocket and does nothing, or hangs on your wall and does nothing. People go, "Oh, you're a realtor." Yeah. How you doing? Oh, I'm pretty good. Mm-hmm. Wanker. So our courses are designed to teach people these fundamental business and personal growth skills, how to take responsibility. And the second thing I learned was how to make mistakes that they were naturally born to learn via trial and error until we went to the school system and they taught us otherwise. You go in there and they punish you for making mistakes. This sets up a huge series of problems. You're supposed to make mistakes. Now, so if you get ego out of the way and make a bunch of mistakes and correct them really fast and take responsibility for everything that happens, all the outcomes, next thing you know, your stats go up. You get more and more productive, more and more efficient, which is what I want to talk about today, if that's okay. If it's not, go watch something else. Before I do that, I just want to say hello to my new friends, Jack and Jay. And, you know, one of the great things about real estate is the people you meet. And I met this coolest couple last week, and we were going to have what I thought might be a 30, 45-minute kind of get to know you conversation. We talked for 4 hours. And it was the most wonderful conversation I've had in quite a long time with people I just met. And we found so many things in common and so many things we liked about each other. And it was great. And I came home feeling, like I said last week, this time of the year, I really feel a lot of gratitude. I feel a lot of thankfulness for what I have and where I are and who's around me and my relationships and the people that I hang out with, that hang out with me and invite me places. And, I have a rich life in a lot of ways. And I met this new couple. They're just the cutest, coolest couple ever. So if you're watching, Jay and Jack, hi. I'm not going to give their last names because I want to protect the guilty because they're guilty. They're guilty of getting on with their lives. They're just doing really, really great financially, and you want to do even better. And you're curious, and they're excited, and they're just my kind of people. The kinds of people you just really want to be around. I mean, they just exude this confidence and this excitement about life and getting better and growing. And to me, that's what it's all about. It's not looking into the rearview mirror, which is sometimes easy to do when you're having problems. You look in the past, but the future's in the windshield. Just keep your eyes on the road and keep on moving down the road. Go straight. So I really had a great time, and that's one of the beauties of doing what I do is all the people you run across. And so it was nice to meet a new couple that I think we're going to do some great things with. So who did you meet this year? What did you learn from them? Who met you? What did you teach them? What are you learning? What are you teaching? What are you passing on? So in order to do this, to me, in order to become more efficient, which is what I really want to get into, is, and I've done this before, so if you would, bear with me if I'm repeating myself, but oftentimes what happens is you run across people that make decisions based on emotion. So when emotion comes up, something else comes down. And when emotion goes up, what comes down is intelligence. And so when we make business or financial decisions, the question I have is, where do you want to make them from? Do you want to make them from the point of view that you're from your intelligence, your left brain, or from your right brain? And I got some people are so right brain they don't think in terms of numbers, facts, figures, and statistics. Their language is vague and ambiguous and very non-specific. They use words like many and lots and several and a bunch, but a left brain thinker who thinks intelligently will use words they speak in terms of numbers and ratios and facts and figures and statistics. And so what keeps me out of this and here are stats. And so at this time of the year, I start looking at my statistics. If you can put a statistic on everything you do, every activity, then you can measure it. And as the old saying goes, you can't manage what you don't measure. So you think it's the right thing to do, but this will tell you more precisely whether it is or isn't, because you've got the stats. So what are two people's two biggest problems? Well, for me, what I hear, one is this: I don't have time. I'll try, but I just can't find the time. Can't find it? What, you lost it? It's hidden? What do you mean you can't find time? What does that even mean? I've been looking all over for it, but I just what? You can't find time. Well, if I see him, I'll holler at you. I tell him you're looking for him. Look, we all got the same amount of time. I go, why didn't you come to our event? I didn't have time. You didn't have time. That's a lie. You had time. You just choose to do something else with it. So you choose to have time. Everything's a choice. Again, I'm just playing from the point of view that you're responsible. If we're all going to play that way, then let's play that way. Okay, fine. So we're all responsible for everything that happens in our world. Great. Then you're responsible for not having time. Well, how do you have more time? The same thing with money. It's the same thing. These are so correlated, related. So if you don't have money, what do? You track every penny that you spend. So if you track every penny that you spend for a month, you'll see why you don't have money. Same thing with time. If you track every hour for 30 days and then look back at it, you'll see why you don't have time. So now you have some statistical data that tells you where your time went and where your money went. And I've heard some people say some stupidest things, and they're just like parrots repeating things they heard. And I don't know why, but one of them is time is money. I'm like, what? That's so crazy. Stop saying that. It is not. Time isn't money. Time is time. If time was money, it'd be called money. Think. Time is time. And we all have the same amount. 12 hours, 12 hours. See, even I struggle with it. 24 hours in a day. We all get the same amount. Midnight in the central time zone is midnight for everyone who's in the central time zone. The day starts 12:01 a.m. and you go all the way to noon, halfway, and then you get to 12 p.m. and the day's over. You get another one. So what do you do with that day? And what you do with that depends on how much of this you'll have. This is limited. This is not. You can grow this by how you spend this. Well, how do you do that? It's simple. Focus. Multitasking is overrated. I see people with all these screens and they got a cell phone, maybe 2, 3 monitors, and they got someone on the phone and they're texting someone and they're watching Instagram and Facebook and that's a sensory overload. Like, whoa, how do you do that? Not well. What? What's your name? I'm your boss. It's Wayne. Oh, yeah, I remember you. It's simple here. Income producing activities. Spend this on those, you'll have more of that. If you'll spend more time on income producing activities, see, here's the thing, is if you're a real estate agent or a sole proprietor, which is the worst thing in the world you could be. Sole proprietorship's not a business. You call it business. You can structure. You can create a business entity. You can say you're a business person. You can, but you're not because you can't leave it. If you can leave that thing for 30 days and not be in touch, you probably could call it a business. But if it needs you and it won't run without you, it's not a business. It's a sole proprietorship, worst 4-letter word in the world, besides all the typical F words we shouldn't be saying out loud. F word, 4-letter word. That we shouldn't be saying out loud is sole, as in proprietorship. Horrible 4-letter word. You know what the second worst four-letter word is? Don't ever use this word either. Wait or can't. So wait, and can't. Those are the list top three four-letter words you should never ever use. I tell you what words you should use. Use the C word and the F word and go home and teach your family and your kids the C word and the F word. Use them over and over and over and say, come on, from now on, we're going to be the C F word family. And the words are cash flow. So no, years ago, my grandfather would say to me, you know, son, cash is king. And he'd give me $5 and go, put that in your pocket. They give him some walking around money. Like, okay, whatever. Then I realized cash isn't king. Cash flow is king. And so if you spend your time working on income producing activities like buying investment properties, next thing you know, you have more and more of this. So what I do with my time is I spend it on income producing activities that make me more money. And the more money I make, the more I buy my time back, which means I don't want to move, which means I quit doing things I don't want to do. I know I'm arrogant, obnoxious, whatever, but I have a lot of time. And what I do with my time is things that I love doing. And if I don't like it, I don't want to do it. I don't do it. I find someone else to do it. And I can do that because I can afford to pay them. And then I buy my time back. There's some things that I might want to do, but I can't do, like engineering. Me, engineer? I don't think so. You want a dam to break? Have me design it. No. So even though I'm interested in some of how that works, might for a few minutes, but not for long, it's just not my strength. And so what I've noticed over the years is that everyone I know was born a genius and meant to be an incredible success. And we all have a gift, something that we're very, very, very good at. Let's just say excellent. And I think we all have things that we're very good at. I think there are some things we can all safely say that some of us are fair at. And I think I can also say there are things that we're just really are very poor at. We just don't do them well. It's hard to be excellent in every area. So what I decided to do was focus on what I do best. For example, let's talk about people skills. I have none. There, I said it. So it's not that I don't like people. I do. I just like at work, right? Every time I give someone a pep talk, they quit. Don't ask me why. Because I don't know. But it's got so bad that my wife says, please don't talk to staff anymore. What? Don't talk to staff anymore. Well, the first time you said that, you said, please don't talk to them. She says, yeah, I'm not saying please anymore. I'm telling you, don't talk to staff anymore. If you want them to work here tomorrow, don't talk to them today. What? Well, I can't just walk to the building and not talk to them. She says, well, say something good. All right. Give me an example. Like, what would that sound like? Well, you could start off with a nice, heartfelt good morning. You could try that. Or after that, maybe say good job. Good job. You're doing a great job. Good job. Okay, forget great. Just say good. You're doing a good job. But if you really want to make them happy, say goodbye. So I come in the building, I walk to the front door, I go to the lobby, and I go, good morning, good job, goodbye. Everybody's smiling because I'm leaving. So I'm just, I care about them. I just don't know how to, I just don't, it's not a skill I have. I don't know where I am here. Probably not very high because not only my people skills bad, I don't care. So probably here. So if I were to have a business that is people related and I need to be on the telephone all day talking to people about how to get into real estate, why it's the best business in the world, how to get started, how to take the courses, everything about it. Would you want me on the phone? No, because I'm poor at it. That and I'm not the kind of person that does performs repetitive tasks. So I'll go into that in a minute. So what I do is, in order to maximize my skills and get the best use of time and the best use of money, which I use to buy more time, which I use to create more money, which I use to buy more time, which I use to create more money, and it's the cycle that I'm in. So now I'm pretty much in charge of my time. I mean, I still have bosses. You know, my customers are my boss. You know, they call and want something, I stop and go do it. So it's not like I am in complete control because I'm still on call for some things, but I enjoy doing that. I like talking to people. I like helping people. I like talking about business and finance and getting better and improving and whether it's golf or cycling or scuba diving or whatever athletic event I'm at, or whether it's business finance. I just love talking about these subjects. I never can get that thing to stay. Anyway, I hope you can still hear me. So there are people in the organization that are excellent where I'm only very good. There are people that are excellent where I'm fair. There are people that are excellent where I'm poor. So to me, the key is to find someone who's excellent where I'm poor and bring them on board and to create balance in our organization. So no matter what the job or task is in front of us, it's done from here. So how do you do that? Well, this is one of the most powerful business tools that I've ever come across. It's this DISC profile: dominant, influencing, steady, and compliant. And what do we know? You can't put this person on the telephone because D stands for dominant. They're impatient. They're obnoxious. They got all the answers. They're loud. And they got to be right all the time. And you can't get them on the phone because they won't perform a repetitive task. They're ADHD. They get bored very quickly. They enjoy challenges. At the other end of the spectrum is and their bottom line. Yes, no. That's the question. I don't want you to swallow, rambling, meandering, vague, ambiguous answer. It's yes or no. Give it to me now. That's it. At the other end of the spectrum, you have the C, which is conscientious or compliant. They're very, very detailed. So these two characters are 180 degrees diametrically opposed. They will not enjoy the same task. So, do you need someone on your team who's detailed? Yes, because if all you have is high D's, you're going to have a lot of stuff falling through the cracks. Things will get done fast, about 80%, 20% of what you're redoing or more, because they won't finish it or they'll blow it up at the end. High C's will take forever because they got to research it and think about it and think of all the reasons why it can't work and make you want to stick up for a broken neck. But you got to have them on the team because these are the ones who are going to find the details that you miss. So if you can figure out how to get these two personalities to work together, next thing you know, you're getting it done fairly quickly and you're getting it done fairly accurately. These are the people. They love people. These can take them or leave them, and these pretty much don't at all. But the high I's, I stands for influencing, love people. They're optimistic, they're enthusiastic, they're upbeat, they're outgoing, they're the social butterflies, the cheerleaders. They're joy to be around. They make every day wonderful and fun and happy. Happy can't be. S, steadiness. Without S's, no work gets done. They love performing repetitive tasks. They don't. They take too long. They're too talkative. Without S's, no work gets done. So when we start plugging people in and using this formula of how do we get excellence in the organization when we know no one's excellent at everything, then the goal is to how do you get the right people to do the right thing at the right time? If you can figure that out, the next thing you know is things are humming along very smoothly. So we write this ad, and that ad, what happens is this thing, I made this up, so you may not have heard it, because it's something I observed. I'm hiring people for 30 years. It's called the mirror effect. So how many have heard the saying opposites attract? Okay, thank you. That might be true for what you might call a meaningful weekend, but I think what most people think at their long term is not their differences, it's their similarities. Birds of a feather do flock together. And so we run this ad and we describe the high I and we describe the S. And what shows up is people with IS tendencies. And that's who works the phones. So we have a system. So when people say it takes too long, it's hard to find good help, it's expensive, blah, 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 blah. All these reasons they have for not being able to do it properly, it's because they don't have a system and they don't know how. Using this system, we hire the perfect person for the perfect job. 45 minutes or less, no resume, no interviews, every time. It's foolproof. So if you can start looking at your business as a business and treat it like it's a series of systems, just like a human body, skeletal system, muscular system, blood system, structural system, skeletal system, nervous system. The body is a series of systems. A business is a series of systems. And so if you have the saying, if it is to be, it's up to me, then you're never going to have a system to get the right people in the right place to do the right thing at the right time. If you have a saying called, you want them the right way, do it yourself, this is just old nonsense rolling around in people's heads, parroting words they don't understand because someone else said it. They thought it sounded cool, so they repeat it. It's not helpful. They wonder why they can't get ahead. So we hire high I as secondary. They're perfect. No phone, no phone. Phone. They love solving problems. They're good listeners. They're enthusiastic, upbeat, with good reporting, performing repetitive tasks, engaging, upbeat, optimistic. The next thing you know, you're getting an organization that's doing things perfectly. Okay, perfectly. But you're getting good reviews. People on the call that call in are feeling valued, and you're getting your questions answered, and you're getting up and running. And, your bookkeeper is a high C, bookkeeper / accountant / controller. Very, very detailed. And so this is transition period from specialist, which is what is taught in school, to generalist. So I am not a specialist. I'm a generalist who hires specialists. If you can get the right people to do the right thing at the right time, then what happens is you have this thing called synergy kicks in, which is also not taught in schools. So synergy is a magic that doesn't make any sense. It's the only word that means that. And if you understand synergy, and this comes from, if you haven't read the book Born to Win by John Bertram, I suggest you read it. One of the best books I've ever read. If you look at some of these sports teams, you'll see that some athletes are the kiss of death. Like Odell Beckham Jr. is back on the market, right? Cowboys are talking this. As usual, he's a wide receiver. These wide receivers are the worst. I mean, they talked about the nut jobs. These wide receivers, some of them, they're kiss of death to a team. because they wreck the synergy. But if you have a team and you understand synergy, and a synergy, you have 1 plus 1 plus 1, if you understand this, it actually can equal 4, and we have a physical model that proves it. 1 plus 1 can equal 4. And you say that in school, look, are you stupid? Or in Texas, it's called special. Mrs. Morgan, yes. Come talk to you about Wayne today. What he did. Let me say he's very special. Yeah, right. Because I was thinking for myself, that won't work. Not when you're in elementary school. You're supposed to shut up, listen, and memorize. And get that gold star and an A. Proving you're smart. It can also equal 5, 10, even 20. If the magic doesn't make any sense. Well, the other definition is the sum of the whole is greater than the parts. The sum is greater than the parts. So if you understand these principles, this is why I'm bringing all this up. If you understand that you can create your life exactly the way you, if you play from the point of view you're responsible, and you understand that you have this incredible power to create your life exactly the way you want it, in fact you already have, and all the things there that you don't like are there so you can have something to not like, or to work on, or just to have over there because you think you need it. And you play from the point of view that you're designed to be a trial and error, and you will gladly make mistakes and correct them very quickly because that's what you excel at. And you can push out into the unknown with this confidence, knowing that there's actually safety and security in that method of operating. That if you're playing from the point of view you're responsible, you own the outcome, and you fix quickly, then you're going to be a force to be reckoned with. It's going to be hard for you to not get where you want to be. And then if you can just put a number on everything you do and keep your stats, which activities, and stop working on admin. Don't do admin. Don't do admin. Do not perform administrative tasks. What can you hire admin for in Austin, Texas? 12, 10, 12, 15 bucks? 12 bucks an hour? So if you're doing admin, what are you making? 12 bucks an hour. That's what you're never going to get rich doing. Looking for 12 bucks an hour. So don't do admin. Get rid of this stuff. Why? Because there are people out there who are excellent at admin who would love to do it for you. So keep your stats. Track your time. This is why I put a value to my time. Write this down. I am worth blank per hour. Write it down. Put a number in the blank. I put in $2,000. That's what I say. I'm worth $2,000 an hour. So people call me and go, or the email, can we get on a Zoom call? Can we take, no, why? What? Meet? For what? Just send me an email. Tell me what it is. When you're still sleeping at 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, I'll reply. Because I'm up. My day's, when your day's starting, mine's halfway done. Because I can't wait for you. It's the worst 4-letter word in English language. Don't wait. Get up. If you're up and the sun's already up, you're late. So I'm up. I get this stuff done. I clear my calendar. I start assigning tasks. By the time everybody gets to work, it's in their inbox. Here's what we're going to do today. Let me know. Span everything. So track your time and then track your income. Focus on income producing activity. If it doesn't make you money, leverage it out. If it doesn't make you money, leverage it out. Find somebody who would love to work with you. Put them on your team. And that's how you do it. Hire specialists. Become the generalist. And out of this comes this synergy. Next you know, everybody's happy doing their jobs. They like doing their jobs, and we like them, and they like us. And everybody's making more money, and everybody's more happy. And Everything's working. Any questions? So that's it. I'm Wayne Morgan. This has been Wednesdays with Wayne. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, you can reach me at info@buildmyrebusiness.com or call us at 453-0900. I'll see you next week. I think I'll see you next week. What's next week? Yeah. No. No, next week I'm going to be out of the country. I will not see you next week because I'm going to be on the golf course next week in Cabo San Lucas. Don't hate. Okay. Thank you for your time. I'll see you when I see you. I don't know when that'll be, but keep looking for our ads. And happy holidays. Thank you for spending Wednesdays with Wayne this year. I look forward to spending time with you next year. If there's anything you need, don't hesitate to reach out. Email me. I'm available and happy to work with you, happy to talk with you, happy to meet and visit with you. And enjoy your family, enjoy the holidays. I hope you have a joyous, abundant, thankful, gracious holiday full of gratitude, family, and love and joy. So thank you for your time. I'll see you next year. Take care. Bye.